I had a big bag of these on my desk this morning. We buy everything frog that has frogs on it, even crisps, potato chips. And although I'm not wearing frog cufflinks today, I'm wearing Queen Victoria cufflinks. Mostly during the regular seminar, I wear frog cufflinks of different kinds, and I wear frog ties, as some of you might remember. And I have, I'm guessing maybe 200 plus frogs in the castle, most of which are in our master suite and my office, and the bathroom is part of the suite of my office, because it's easy to go back into default. And to me, default is kissing frogs, especially since I'm antisocial and I don't like anybody. And I don't like people. I don't. All I see is problems. All I see, you can't say families without saying lies. Families, lies at the end. I mean, and I knew this intuitively when I was a young guy. Be close to your family, They're problems. They want money. They want this. They want that. Now, if somebody's dying, then I'll help them. But they got to be dying. Not because they missed 2 mortgage payments. And so it's hard. The more successful you get, and the longer you stay successful, it's hard to keep kissing frogs or looking for opportunities. That's what you call it. People don't like the idea of kissing frogs, and for 30 years I've been continuing, more than 30 years, but 30 years that I didn't really have to do it, I've continued to do it. And that's my default. And that's why, one of the reasons I see when I go to the cities and it's posted on my site, you want to see Dan, you come and you see me, and I spend 20, 30 minutes with you. And I need to see those people like I need AIDS. Better I have AIDS. What possibly am I going to get from meeting nice kids? Nice, remember what nice means. Nice kids in Cleveland or San Francisco or London or fucking wherever I am. You wouldn't do it. 10 or 20, not now so much, but years ago they used to want to know how much I charged to see them. Because they thought, why would Dan want to see me, Muttonhead? And I don't charge anything. And it also gives me a pulse, a feel of the pulse of what's going on. And that's why I knew Trump was going to win, one of the other benchmarks. Because not everybody, but almost every single person I talked to in the United States was either a livid Trump supporter or a moderate Trump supporter, but they're afraid to say it. You can't say it in the workplace. You can't say it as a student because they take so much shit for it. And very few people that I talked to. Now, Sally said, but it was skewed because the people that come to see you, Dan, aren't going to be bleeding liberals. But that's not necessarily true, because a lot of the bleeding liberals, the snowflakes that want to be unsnowflaked, I don't know if that's the right way to describe it, come and see me. But so I knew that I had a pretty good feel for if Mr. Trump was going to win the presidency or not. But when you get back, the default little speech is because you've already gone back one time, and a couple of you have been to more than one seminar, and you know what it's like. See, you can't be called a boss anymore. It's not politically correct. But my Scottish staff don't know that. Boss is part of their vernacular up here, because jobs are hard to fucking come by up here. So, I mean, the fact that you have a job is better than the ones on the dole, which means they're collecting money from the government. But you can collect money from the government here and make more than minimum wage. They pay them more to not work than to work. And which is a goofy system, and you can stay on it, and they provide you with a house. Of course, medical is free anyway with NHS, National Health Service, a house, and they give you money to buy food, and the more, not illegitimate, but more kids that you have, whether you've got a husband or not, you get an extra, a few £100 a month. So we have people that are from generation to generation that have been bred, pun intended, on not working. This isn't the only country like that, but I mean, it's one of them. And it's not impossible, but it's almost impossible to get out of that cycle. But back to the default, when you go back, I mean, not dissimilar to when you left the original seminar, you got to go to the whip. I mean, like a jockey headed for the finish line and continue going to the whip. And I made that analogy years ago, and we had one of the most successful female jockeys in Europe that came to the seminar. And she said, she feels off for the horses. You can't be whipping the horses all the time, and a horse will run until it just drops dead. It doesn't say, I can only go so fast now, boss. The horse doesn't turn around and look at you and say, I don't have any more left in the gas tank. But you got to continue to keep the pressure on. And the ones that do wind up on that wall there in the back, the Hall of Fame, and the ones that don't, they're still successful. You're going to be more successful than your contemporaries no matter what. Unless you really fuck something up, go to jail or something. But to really maximize your potential, you've got to be, whipping yourself, not like the guy that I showed the picture of. Now, somebody sent me a picture of Joe Rogan, great guy, was nice enough to let me on his show, standing next to McGregor. Now, McGregor is what, 155 pounds? Is that the weight class he's in? Yeah. Okay. And he's about, 5'7", 5'8"-ish? 5'9". Well, Joe, standing right next to him, is exactly the same size. Exactly. And you Google fucks, you experts, you Google fuck it. Because a couple of you were not questioning, but they thought, that he was thick, and I don't know what that means exactly, he's thick. I guess he has muscle. Well, Joe does have muscles, there's no question about that. But I mean, they're about the same size. And one of my pet peeves is like Arnold Schwarzenegger, supposedly he's, big and tall, and all these guys are big and tall, and 6'3" and 6'5", and none of them are. Now, they're not dwarfs like a few of you in this room, but I mean, they're just not. I sat in a bar many years ago with Hulk Hogan, and they were shooting a movie, and it was at the Long Beach Hilton. And I didn't even know he was Hulk Hogan until he's sitting at a bar with me. I didn't even know, because he didn't look 6'6", 275 by any stretch of the imagination. He's about maybe an inch taller than I am, and maybe he weighs 2 1/4, something like that. Okay, any questions about anything that we've covered last night? Ravi didn't join us last night because he was working on a deal, and the property deals, right? Well, so that's kind of an oxymoron. I mean, they ought to just send you the money. I mean, why even go through all the hoops of process? I'm surprised Amazon didn't deliver the boxes of money to you here this morning. Why go through the hoops? And last night I thought that I was being burgled, and it was Jason was in the working on. But that's fine. Now, so no questions, because we're going to go right into some presentations. Okay, goodbye, YouTube.